In the desolate heartlands of Arizona, where the whisper of the wind is the only companion, lies a secret too grand to be buried beneath the sands of time. The Petrified Forest National Park, with its dazzling display of fossilized wood, hides an enigma that defies the mundane explanations offered by mainstream geology. Visitors wander through these stone remnants, unaware that they are treading upon the colossal bones of what were once gargantuan trees that reached far into the heavens, whose stories have been surgically removed from our history books. This is not just a forest turned to stone, it is a graveyard of giants. The official narrative claims these trees were buried under layers of sediment during the late Triassic period, some 200 million years ago, slowly transforming into stone over eons. But the evidence, hidden in plain sight, suggests something far more sinister. Native tribes in the region spoke of these trees as the stones of the sky, claiming they were once alive during the time of their ancestors. In 1825, explorer Nathaniel Curtis, a man largely erased from the annals of exploration, documented his encounter with local tribes who described how these trees were felled in a single cataclysmic night. Curtis's notes, found buried within an old ledger in a forgotten archive, tell a tale of thunderous booms and blinding light, a cataclysm not of this earth. The petrification process itself remains an enigma. Traditional geology insists on a slow, gradual process of mineral replacement. Yet, in 1873, geologist Elijah Harper discovered a peculiar anomaly, a tree that had petrified so rapidly that its outer bark was still intact. Harper, whose work was discredited by institutional forces, described an impossible phenomenon. The tree had not decayed or compressed under sediment. Instead, the very cellular structure of the wood had been replaced atom by atom with silica in what appeared to be an overnight transformation. Harper's findings were buried under an avalanche of ridicule, but his sketches and mineral analysis, preserved by his descendants, tell a different story, a mosaic of technical mysticism. The gatekeepers of conventional science, led by the Geological Society of America, have systematically strangled any dissenting voices that question the petrification timeline. In 1908, an independent researcher, Clara Aldrich, armed with samples from the Rainbow Forest, presented her findings at a symposium. Aldrich demonstrated through spectral analysis that these trees contain trace elements of metals not native to Earth, a discovery that would suggest a celestial event. Her presentation was abruptly cut short, and her work was dismissed as a delusion. Aldrich's samples, once kept in a dusty corner of a university basement, have mysteriously vanished, yet whispers of her findings still linger amongst those who dare to seek the truth. The night sky over the petrified forest is a vellum of stars, a silent witness to the secrets embedded within the stone giants below. It is a landscape of timeless beauty and untold mysteries, where the very ground resonates with the echoes of a forgotten past. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the petrified logs, one cannot help but ponder the immense forces that once shaped this now silent forest. Were these trees victims of a cosmic event, a celestial cataclysm that instantaneously turned wood to stone? Or do they hold the key to an ancient technology, one capable of transforming organic matter at the blink of an eye? The truth, hidden in the whispering winds and the petrified witnesses, waits to be uncovered. Beneath the surface of the petrified forest lies a network of uncharted tunnels and caverns, rumored to hold secrets as ancient as the stones themselves. In 1847, an expedition led by the enigmatic explorer Julius Hammond, whose name has been carefully excised from conventional history, ventured into these hidden depths. Hammond's notes, smuggled out of the shadows by a trusted confidant and recently uncovered in a private collection, paint a picture of vast underground chambers lined with crystalline formations that glowed with an eerie luminescence. These chambers, he claimed, were not of natural origin, but rather the remnants of a lost civilization that had harnessed the very energies of the earth. Among the petrified logs, there are those with peculiar markings, intricate patterns that defy explanation, as if etched by some ancient hand. In 1859, ethnologist Samuel Thorne documented these engravings, comparing them to the sacred glyphs of indigenous tribes. Thorne's analysis, kept in a dusty manuscript largely ignored by his peers, suggested that these markings were not decorative but functional, possibly serving as conduits for an unknown energy. His hypothesis was met with derision from the academic elite, who dismissed his work as fanciful conjecture. Yet, those who have seen the markings up close describe a palpable vibrancy, an energy that seems to pulse just beneath the stone's surface. The skies over the petrified forest have long been a canvas for strange phenomena. In 1912, a series of unexplained aerial lights were reported by townsfolk in Holbrook, Arizona, a town on the fringes of the forest. Witnesses described orbs of light that danced across the night sky, their movements erratic and their glow unnaturally bright. The local newspaper, the Holbrook Gazette, printed an account by a farmer named Elias Parker, who insisted that these lights were drawn to the petrified logs, hovering ominously above them before vanishing into the ether. Parker's vivid descriptions suggest a connection between the celestial and the terrestrial, one that the authorities were quick to dismiss as mere atmospheric anomalies. The Smithsonian Institution, often portrayed as a bastion of knowledge, plays a pivotal role in the obscuration of the forest's secrets. In 1884, a team of their researchers descended upon the petrified forest, collecting samples and documenting their findings. However, the results of their study were never published, and the collected artifacts disappeared into the labyrinthine corridors of the institution. Whispers among insiders suggest that the samples contained anomalies incompatible with the accepted geological timeline. These whispers speak of an agenda to maintain the status quo, to prevent the upheaval that such revelations would cause in the academic world. As the petrified forest stands stoic and silent, the air carries a sense of unresolved tension, a yearning to speak of mysteries long buried. The desert wind whispers through the stone sentinels, hinting at secrets that defy the linear progression of time. Each petrified log is a testament to a forgotten era and a challenge to the narratives that bind our understanding of the world. Imagine the towering giants that once reached skyward, now silenced, their stories told only by those who dare to listen to the earth's murmurs. For those who journey to this enigmatic land, the question remains: what truths lie locked within the stone, waiting for the courageous few to unearth them? As the dawn sun creeps over the horizon, casting its golden light upon the petrified remnants, one is reminded of the vastness and the enigma of the natural world. But this is no ordinary sunrise over an ordinary forest. In 1860, botanist Lydia Franklin, whose research was abruptly cut short by unexplained circumstances, noted an unusual phenomenon. She recorded that the petrified logs absorbed and reflected light in a manner unlike any known mineral. Franklin's detailed observations, written in a journal found hidden in a false-bottomed trunk, describe how light refracted through the silica created prismatic halos, suggesting a crystalline structure far more complex than previously understood. Digging deeper into the shadows of time, the stories of early pioneers reveal a startling truth. In 1895, a group of treasure seekers, led by the audacious Thomas Wilkes, ventured into the forest under the cloak of night. Wilkes's journal, discovered hidden within the walls of an old homestead, tells of an encounter with an inexplicable force. As they attempted to excavate a particularly large log, they were met with a resistance that seemed to emanate from the very ground. The air crackled with static, and their tools reverberated with a frequency that drove them back in terror. Wilkes described it as if the earth itself was protecting its secrets, a living entity safeguarding its ancient guardians. The myths surrounding the forest deepen with reports of strange sounds echoing through the desolate landscape. In 1903, a local prospector named Amos Carver claimed to have heard a low, resonant hum emanating from beneath the petrified logs. Carver, whose account was recorded in a letter to his brother, described it as a song of the stones, a haunting melody that resonated in his bones. Local legends speak of these sounds as the whispers of the ancient trees, singing their stories to the wind. Skeptics dismissed Carver's account as auditory hallucinations induced by the isolation of the desert, but those who have heard the hum speak of an unshakable sense of connection to something profound and primordial. The academic establishment, ever vigilant in maintaining its grip on the narrative, has systematically quashed any attempts to explore these phenomena further. In 1917, physicist Edward Ramsay proposed a radical hypothesis that the petrified logs were capable of acting as natural resonators, amplifying certain frequencies of sound and light. Ramsay's proposal was met with swift condemnation, his funding cut, and his papers consigned to the archives of obscurity. The scientific community, led by gatekeepers of conventional wisdom, declared his ideas as fringe pseudoscience, an affront to the established order. Yet, Ramsay's notes, passed down through generations and safeguarded by a secretive society dedicated to alternative truths, continue to inspire those who seek answers beyond the sanctioned discourse. As shadows lengthen and the desert cools, the petrified logs stand silhouetted against the twilight sky, silent witnesses to the passage of time and the ebb and flow of human curiosity. The mysteries of the petrified forest remain locked in stone, a tantalizing riddle wrapped in the fabric of Earth's history. For those who walk among these ancient sentinels, there is an unspoken understanding that the answers lie not in the sterile halls of academia, but in the whispers of the wind and the quiet songs of the stones. What forces transformed wood to stone in an instant? What secrets do these geological marvels hold, waiting patiently for the inquisitive and the brave to uncover their timeless truths? As the stars begin to twinkle overhead, a sense of ancient wonder envelopes the petrified forest, where time seems to twist and fold upon itself. In 1905, the reclusive astronomer Percival Lowell, known for his controversial theories on life on Mars, visited this enigmatic landscape. Lowell, whose visit was shrouded in secrecy, left behind cryptic notes that hint at a cosmic connection. His writings, discovered only after his death, describe a peculiar alignment of the petrified logs with celestial bodies. Lowell hypothesized that these trees were planted with purpose, serving as terrestrial markers in a grand cosmic map, a theory so radical that it was promptly buried by his contemporaries. Hidden beneath the sands of time are tales of a forgotten people who once called this land home. In 1899, archaeologist Dr. Amelia Carter uncovered artifacts near the petrified logs, pottery shards, and stone tools with motifs unknown to any known indigenous tribe. Carter's excavation, documented in a detailed report that never saw publication, suggested a culture that revered the stone trees as sacred. The artifacts hinted at ritualistic practices centered around the petrified giants, possibly invoking the energies believed to reside within. Yet, the academic powers that be dismissed her findings, sequestering the artifacts in a university basement where they languish, collecting dust, their stories untold. The very air of the petrified forest crackles with an electricity that defies explanation. In 1911, physicist and inventor Nikola Tesla, fascinated by reports of the forest's anomalies, visited the site under the cover of night. Tesla's diary, kept private for decades, reveals his experiments with the petrified logs, which he believed could conduct and amplify electrical energy. Tesla described the logs as natural capacitors capable of storing immense power, their crystalline structures ideal for his visionary wireless energy transmission. Despite his findings, Tesla's experiments in the forest were halted by mysterious forces, leading only to whispers of what might have been, a revolution in human understanding of nature's hidden potential. The petrified forest stands as a testament to forces beyond our comprehension, its silent witnesses bound by time and stone. Yet, The tales of those who dared to challenge the official narrative continued to echo through the ages. In 1918, journalist Margaret Sinclair published a series of articles in a small Arizona newspaper, exposing the military's interest in the forest's unique properties. Sinclair's investigative work, which mysteriously ceased after a few issues, suggested that the U.S. government had covertly tested the petrified logs for potential military applications. Her articles, once circulating in underground circles, hinted at the forest's potential as a source of untapped energy, a theory that attracted both intrigue and suppression. As the first light of dawn illuminates the horizon, the petrified forest reveals its secrets to those who seek them with open hearts and minds. The silent sentinels of stone stand as both guardians and gatekeepers, whispering their ancient tales to those who dare to listen. Each petrified log is more than a relic of nature. It is a chapter in a story that spans the cosmos, a story that challenges the confines of mainstream understanding. For those who journey here, the forest offers a tantalizing glimpse into the mysteries of our world, beckoning the inquisitive and the brave to unravel the threads of time and discover the truths that have been hidden for far too long. The crisp morning air carries with it the echoes of secrets long buried beneath the stony facade of the petrified forest. In 1902, botanist Charles Whittaker, after years of meticulous study, proposed a radical theory that the petrification was not merely a geological process, but a deliberate act of preservation by an advanced civilization. Whittaker's theory, considered heretical by his peers, was based on his analysis of microscopic structures within the petrified logs, which revealed precise alterations that could only have been made with technology far beyond that known to man at the time. His findings, compiled in a manuscript that mysteriously disappeared after his death, suggested a pre-human intervention that defied all known records of history. Amidst the towering stone giants, whispers of an ancient pact linger, a convergence of human and otherworldly forces. In 1915, anthropologist Dr. Eleanor Vance recorded oral histories from the Hopi tribe, who spoke of the sky people who once walked the earth alongside humans. According to these accounts, the petrified trees were a gift from these celestial visitors, a means of preserving Earth's wisdom for future generations. Vance's recordings, preserved on fragile wax cylinders, recount stories of luminous beings who used the trees as conduits for cosmic knowledge. The Hopi elders warned of a great cover-up, a silencing of this history by those who feared its power. The petrified forest's enigma deepens with tales of lost expeditions, swallowed by the sands of time. In 1890, an expedition led by the enigmatic Captain Arthur Sinclair vanished without a trace while exploring the forest's most remote regions. Sinclair's journal, discovered decades later in a hidden compartment of an abandoned cabin, recounts his team's discovery of a massive subterranean complex beneath the forest. The tunnels, lined with iridescent stones, seemed to pulse with an inner light, leading to chambers filled with artifacts of unknown origin. Sinclair's last entry ominously mentions a guardian force that protected the complex, a force that left no survivors to tell the tale. The academic establishment, steadfast in its denial of alternative histories, continues to stifle inquiries that challenge its dogma. In 1919, historian Richard Hawthorne presented a controversial paper at a prestigious conference, proposing that the petrified forest was not a natural formation but a monument to ancient wisdom. Hawthorne's argument, supported by evidence of geometric alignment with celestial events, was met with hostility and censorship. His work, branded as pseudoscience, was systematically purged from academic records. Yet, copies of his paper, circulated by underground scholars, continue to inspire those who seek the truth hidden beneath layers of institutional suppression. As the sun sets over the petrified forest, casting long shadows across this timeless landscape, one cannot help but feel the weight of untold stories pressing against the silence. The petrified logs, standing as solemn sentinels, are more than just relics of a prehistoric past. They are symbols of a forgotten age, guardians of a knowledge that transcends human understanding. For those who dare to look beyond the veil of accepted history, the forest offers a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between the earthly and the cosmic blur, inviting the brave to unravel the mysteries of the stone giants and the truths they guard. As twilight descends upon the petrified landscape, the forest takes on an ethereal glow, a haunting reminder of secrets locked in stone. In 1910, noted physicist Dr. Alice Marbury conducted a series of experiments that challenged the very fabric of known physics. Marbury's research, concealed in a set of encrypted diaries, revealed that the petrified would emit a faint but measurable electromagnetic field, one that fluctuated in sync with lunar cycles. Her findings suggested a dynamic interplay between these stone relics and the moon's gravitational pull, hinting at a sophisticated energy system once harnessed by ancient civilizations. Marbury's work was swiftly discredited and buried, her name relegated to the footnotes of history. In the shadowy realm of forgotten lore, tales persist of a lost manuscript, said to hold the key to the forest's mysteries. In 1898, a reclusive scholar named Quentin Hargrove claimed to have deciphered a codex, revealing a map of interstellar origin, encoded within the patterns of the petrified wood. Hargrove's work, recorded in a series of letters to a confidant, described how the logs formed a celestial grid, their positions mirroring constellations visible only from distant galaxies. He believed this grid served as a beacon, a message to those who could interpret its cosmic language. However, Hargrove disappeared under suspicious circumstances, and his manuscript vanished, leaving only whispers of its existence behind. The forest, with its silent guardians, holds more than just the echoes of time. It cradles the remnants of an ancient struggle. In 1909, amateur historian Elijah Monroe posited a daring theory. An epic battle between celestial forces played out in this very landscape. Monroe, who vanished after his controversial lecture, left behind a series of sketches depicting scenes of immense trees felled by otherworldly beings wielding weapons of light. His drawings, discovered decades later, depict a cosmic battlefield frozen in stone, a narrative so fantastical it was dismissed as mere fantasy. Yet, the imagery resonates with those who sense that the forest is a monument to a forgotten epoch, a testament to forces beyond our ken. The specter of suppression looms large over the petrified forest, where truths are jealously guarded by an unseen hand. In 1913, an intrepid journalist named Clara Winslow embarked on a quest to uncover the truth behind the forest's mysteries. Her investigative series, published in a small-town gazette, unveiled startling inconsistencies in official reports on the forest's origins. Winslow's tenacity led her to hidden archives and secret testimonies from those who had witnessed inexplicable phenomena firsthand. However, her series abruptly ended, and Winslow retreated into obscurity, her legacy reduced to hushed conversations among those who remember her fearless pursuit of the truth. As the night deepens over the petrified forest, the air is thick with anticipation, a palpable energy that calls to those who seek the unexplained. The petrified logs stand as sentinels in the moonlit night, casting long shadows that stretch into the unknown. For those who venture into this realm of stone and silence, the forest offers a glimpse into a world where the past and future collide, where the answers lie hidden in the interplay of light and shadow. To walk among these giants is to step into a narrative that defies the confines of human history, inviting the curious to unravel the enigma of the petrified giants and the cosmic secrets they hold.